Welcome. In this next video, we're going to be going over SEO Press and how to set up your redirections. So let's dive right in. All right, so on the left-hand side here, find SEO and navigate down to redirections. So if you have 404 error monitoring, all of those 404s are going to show up here, and it's going to be kind of chaotic, especially if you don't know what's going on. So if you have no idea what's going on, make sure you go back and turn that off. Let me show you. Actually, for my website, I get a lot of 404s because it's a WordPress website. You have a lot of people trying to hack WordPress websites. That's just the way things are. And so you'll see all these redirections come in, these 404s that just look like this. Lots of different pages that are just random off the wall. Some of them look quite chaotic. We'll try to see if we can get some of them in here. Here we go. Yeah, these are like development files like this. I mean, you're not going to be able to figure out what any of this stuff is. And so having that 404 monitoring turned on, you're going to see it. So if you can turn that off in a previous video where we covered that, but yeah, you don't want that. So one of the things that I really like to do is I like to set up my legal pages to have legal in the actual name. So that's what I would do. But what we would actually have to do is have something to rename. So let's go check. See if we have. Oops. I just wanted to look at the quick edit. Okay, so here's a good one. So about is actually, the slug is about us. So I'm actually going to remove the us part because it's 2021 and no one cares. So we need to change about us to about. So let's update that and I will show you how to do that. All right, so in your 301 section, your redirection section, we need to create a redirect. Now, the top here is the old URL, and in this URL redirection section is your new URL. Now, in the old redirection section, this is an relative URL. What that means is you take out your domain and you take out the first slash there, and that's what's left over. You can also even take out this slash at the end. This here is a relative URL, but we don't need that prefixing slash. An absolute URL is a URL that has the domain in it, okay? And that's important to note because that's how this is set up. So we have our relative URL up here, about us, and we're converting it to about. So there's a few other things. We want to make sure we enable this. We want to select the redirection type. So which one of these is it? Now, if we're doing this intentionally, it's most likely going to be a 301. If you're just temporarily disabling something, like if you wanted to create a booking page where people can book time with you, but you temporarily want people just to be navigated directly to, say, like a Calendly link, then you could do a 302 because you still haven't finished building out that page, something along those lines. But in this instance, we want to move it permanently, so we'll do that. For the query parameters, I like to use exactly match just because I know what my old one is, I know what my new one is, and it's pretty self-explanatory. But here we have something that's a little fun to play with, is this categories section. So I'm going to add a new category. I'm just going to call it pages. I like to do stuff like this. Let's see, legal, definitely have that in there. I like to also add affiliate stuff. I also like to manage that in here as well. So that's pretty cool. And I can actually show you what I've done with mine so you can see. But nonetheless, we get this set up and we hit publish. And now we have a redirection. So here we can test this. When you open it up in a new page, you see it's about us and it changes to about, and it still is a good page. That's cool stuff. If you go back to the redirection section, you'll now see a redirection here. So that's definitely letting you know that this is active based off of this enable column. And now you're ready to go. And the reason we want to use categories is so we can actually sort by categories, but you can also sort by, there it is, by actual status code, or if they're turned on or not. So there's a lot of cool features with that. So let me show you the affiliate section. For me, so this is actually the way that I manage all of my affiliate links. I go into SEO Press, redirections, categories, affiliates, filter. And so I do this like this. So even for SEO Press, I do my domains /links /SEO Press. I have all these various softwares that I recommend, and this keeps it consistent with me for being able to provide a link based on this, my branded criteria, but it still gets sent out to a different domain every time. And so that's really useful to keep track of. And so that's how I also use this redirects section for. If you accidentally create too many categories, you can manage those categories here. Not that big a deal. Back into the redirection section. Now that we have one created, you can actually export them, add a whole bunch of them, and then import them back in, which is also pretty useful. But that's going to cover everything under the redirection section. It's pretty useful. Use it as needed. Sometimes, though, in the dashboard, or sometimes here at the header section, you will get a notification saying this redirection or this page has been deleted. Create a new redirection for this, yes or no. And basically that'll take you to that create redirection page so that you can then figure it out for yourself if you want to create it. So that's everything for this video. We'll see you guys in the next one. Later.